What's going on, guys? It's LadyB, and I'm so thrilled to present to you the first of many episodes to come of Beyond the Town Hall. Now, this is a new series I will be bringing to you bi-weekly, where you get to see the best and the brightest of Clash in an exclusive interview. Now, for this first series, I have a former tribe member, and we're talking about his retirement, about the possibility of coming back to Clash of Clans, and we talk about how he feels about the new tribe gaming. And don't forget to stay to the very end with Itsu attacking, and we're gonna see if he actually tripled or not. We actually have two of those, but take a look till the end to see if he actually six-packed and find out what's in store for the next episode to come. Many of you may know Maxi from the former Tribe Gaming, who recently retired at the end of the year. Welcome, Maxi. Thank you so much for joining.
Hello, everybody. Hello, LadyB. Thanks for having me on the interview.
Well, it's great to have you here. So I really wanted to kick off this series having you because Tribe was really a big fueling, driving factor for the esports community. And because you're leaving, I feel like you have a lot of great wisdom to impart on the community. But I also want to share, I want to help share, the experiences that you've had, because you've had quite an amazing year, at least from what we've seen with your experiences in Clash. So we'll get to some of the questions. And my first one for you, we'll keep it easy at the beginning and get to the harder questions later. How long have you been playing Clash of Clans?
I've been playing for around 4.5 years because I started in March 2015 and retired in December of last year of 2019.
Okay. And who or what got you into it? How did you wind up starting to play Clash of Clans?
I actually had two school friends of mine, Martin and Jimmy, and they both played it just casually on their phone. And when I saw it, I was very impressed by Jimmy's pink walls in his village. And I thought, I should maybe start playing again and try to catch up.
The pink walls. Those actually kind of suckered me in too. That was Town Hall 7, I think.
I think, seven. That should be it.
That's where you got the dragons as well. So what led you, how did you end up getting into the competitive scene? What led you in that direction from starting off playing after you saw your friends playing and joining because of purple walls?
Yeah, I actually played together with them for a while in a casual clan with just friends and colleagues. But at some point, it got too boring for me and two other guys, and we were up for something more and for mates that show us new things instead of the other way around. So we actually did a post to the German Clash of Clans forum saying that we're looking for a more competitively oriented clan. And yeah, we got many requests by clans and ended up in a semi-competitive German clan who's called Lions Ascension. And their big goal was to take part in the GML, the German National Clash League, which was privately organized. But they didn't have enough players, so at some point we merged with 11 Original, and this is where I met guys like Eve Color, Vision, and also Itsu and eVe, and all of those guys pulled me into playing on a higher level. And then in 2018, the connection with Dark Looters got stronger again because of the Poland live stream, which introduced the Clan War leagues. And shortly after that, I think in the beginning of 2019, when the World Championship was announced, I focused completely on competitive play. And that's how we started playing in Dark Looters again and ended up being called Tribe Gaming.
And you've been not only with Tribe Gaming, but as you said, 11 Original, who was featured in the ESL Town Hall 12 Cup and actually
Yes,
won.
exactly. Oh, yeah, that's right. That was great.
Yeah, that's really awesome to see. I don't know how many people who watch my YouTube know that I do play an 11 Original. So it was really great seeing our team represented. I know the hard work that goes in behind the entire clan. I'm just kind of the scrub that sits there and streams every once in a while, sometimes gets a war attack in, but I am definitely the biggest cheerleader of the bunch, rooting for you guys. And I was so thrilled that 11 Original did get to see its big day on the stage and win. That's a huge
Yeah,
accomplishment.
yeah. It was great for me too, especially because it's kind of my OG competitive clan where I like started off and got to meet all these great players I played along for the last years. So that was a pretty emotional moment for me too.
So speaking of, what's been your best experience or moment in Clash of Clans? I would imagine you've had so many, but if you had to choose, what would be the best moment?
Yeah, there were definitely a few, especially throughout this last crazy year. And winning the Town Hall 12 Cup, which we just talked about, was very close to the top. But standing on the big stage at the World Championship in Hamburg and having my name being called out by the casters and hearing about 1,000 people in the crowd cheer for me, that was such an epic moment. And I think it will always be my number one Clash moment, and I'll never forget it.
I can tell you as a spectator there, that was probably one of my most amazing experiences of Clash of Clans as well. Seeing the World Championships live, seeing that big stage, I could not imagine how you felt being on that stage. That's got to be so hype.
Yeah.
So let's take it to non-Clash related. When you're not clashing, what are you doing?
I am a law clerk in Hamburg, Germany, and I'm actually finishing up with my second state examination. That's what it's called in Germany. And this exam will be in June 2020. And I'm working at the Ministry of Justice in Hamburg at the moment to get some practical insight. But I will shortly wrap that up, and then I'll focus on studying for the exam.
Very nice. When you say Ministry of Justice, I always think of Harry Potter and the Ministry of Magic.
Yeah, that's about how it is.
So what's your favorite non-gaming hobby? Especially now that you are going to be retired and you won't be playing Clash of Clans anymore? Or will you?
I think
We've got two questions here.
yeah. So about the hobbies, I think my favorite hobbies are playing board games with friends and traveling, especially traveling with Clash of Clans. And although a lot of traveling I did last year was Clash related, that doesn't mean that the trips were any less fun. It was actually great to get out with Clash.
What's been your favorite place to travel to?
Definitely Tokyo. That was just a crazy experience. I had never been to Japan before at all, and then Tokyo is just such an amazing city where everything is bigger than you know it, where everything is better organized than you know it, where the food is just great, where the people are extremely nice and helpful and open to strangers. So that was really the coolest trip, and it was also Clash related, and we met Queen Walkers there, and I went there with my team, so we had a really, really good time.
Yeah, and you guys did a wasabi challenge. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we were actually at a park outside of Tokyo where we had to dress up in these classic summer kimonos and made a movie together with the Queen Walkers who were dressed up as ninjas. And at some point, eVe Danny had to, because he lost a challenge, had to eat a whole big piece of wasabi. And yeah, he actually had to spit it out because it was just way too spicy for his European taste. That was good fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Were there lots of pictures of that? Did you at least get a picture of his face?
Oh yeah, I think it is in a video actually. I might have to check what you have to type in to find it, but it's there were actually two wrestlers dressed as barbarians who made him eat the wasabi.
Really?
And
They open his mouth,
yeah,
like hold his mouth open and shove it right in.
did. They really did.
Poor Danny.
Yeah.
So speaking of wasabi, what is your favorite food? I'm guessing not wasabi.
Exactly, not wasabi. Although I crave sushi a lot, but it's not my favorite. My favorite are cheeseburgers,
Oh.
and with extra bacon.
Oh, yum. Okay, so
Yeah,
what do you put on your burgers for condiments? Ketchup, mayo, mustard. What do you put on there?
only those three.
Wait, you put mustard?
Yeah, all those three.
Oh
Yeah.
no mustard. Oh.
Yes, I do. I have a history of making my perfect burger. I tried it for a lot of years. Tried different meat, different condiments, different other stuff, and I tried different buns. And I think I found my perfect burger, and it definitely contains a little mustard as well.
Oh, I don't know if I could live with that. Oh,
How do
I
you eat
died a
your
little
meat?
bit inside there, Maxi.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that. Do you at least eat your meat medium rare?
So, as much as I would like to, because I had a kidney transplant, I'm not allowed to have undercooked meat.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
When I've
Well,
gone to Germany, though, I did have Methäppchen. Met.
oh yes, Methäppchen.
Yeah, the raw
Yeah.
meat. I love that. I trusted the meat there more than I actually trusted in the U.S. So,
Yeah, but in that case, it's
yeah,
understandable.
I actually like rare. I like rare meat, but I have to. I usually do medium. Sometimes, if I know it's good meat, I'll do medium rare. So,
Okay, yeah, I see. I always do medium rare.
so let's go back to Clash and let's. What's your favorite attack strategy, or what your favorite attack strategy in Clash of Clans?
It has always been Queen Charge Lalo. From when my queen was able to do queen charges at Town Hall 9 at around level 20, that was always my go-to strategy. Because I think queen charges in general are very strong in the game because they combine the strongest troop in the game with a rage spell with a lot of value because you can put the rage spell on the queen and the healers at the same time, and that gives you a lot of value out of this single spell. And then after the queen charge, I prefer Lalo because unlike Hawks, they are not too vulnerable to traps, and they also don't need as many spells. But as I saw from some footage and some streams I watched in the past couple of weeks at Town Hall 13, it seems like the meta has shifted a little towards ground troops as a back end. So I'm not sure if I would still do Queen Charge Lalo if I was still playing at Town Hall 13, and especially with the scatter shots, I think you also need more spells than you used to need before the update.
Yeah, the meta shifted quite a bit. We're not seeing as much success in Lalos for Town Hall 13. But with those scatter shots in general, you got to watch them. We've seen a lot of people, even today in wars, going after scatter shots and eagles on the back end, that's like death for your troops.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have to see what will be the best troop composition at Town Hall 13. But on all the Town Hall levels before, I thought that Queen Charge Lalo was the strongest. And if you can determine what the strongest strategy is, it's always clever to try to master it because that's what you have to do if you want to be one of the best players in the world.
So, how did you first learn about Queen Charge Lalo? Who taught you? How did you learn about it? What was kind of your inspiration for going towards that direction?
So I knew that the strategy existed. I don't really know why, but just because some people used it or I saw parts of it, and I don't know, I somehow knew that it existed, and I tried to use it, but I wasn't as good with it until I saw a video that featured TDH, the famous TDH, who showed, I think it was Cleric Dragoon who posted the video, who showed his golden rules of the TDH strategy. And that's actually when I thought, wow, this is so strong, I have to master it. And I practiced a lot with it at Town Hall 9. Yeah, I think I found my own troop composition which I felt comfortable with and which was a little different from TDH's troop comp. But yeah, that's when I fell in love with the Queen Charge Lalo, if you will.
Yeah, it's that's quite an interesting strategy because it uses a lot of minions for it, and he's actually expanded that strategy. He's trying to work it for 13, but it's difficult. I've talked to him about this, but he's made it actually work for, I mean, from Town Hall 9, 10, 11, 12. He was working on the 12 strategy. It's insane. But Lalo was insanely OP in general, which we saw you and Danny and a lot of the tribe guys using in Town Hall 12.
Yeah,
last
that's
year.
right. And I'm happy to hear that TDH is still on for exploring new strategies.
Absolutely.
And I'm excited to see what he comes up with.
So as far as Tribe goes, there's been recent developments since you retired, and there is a new tribe, which you are very well aware of. The new changes to Tribe, who've recently joined with WHF. What are your thoughts on that? What do you think about this new team?
I'm very excited about it. I love that they put together a new team and continue playing under the tribe flag. That's awesome. And I think their lineup is pretty OP. I mean, they are still looking for a fifth player at the moment, or like haven't figured out who it will be. I don't know any more about that. But the two WHF guys, Hex and Lex, they already have. They are great. I met them in Poland in December at the Town Hall 12 Cup, and they are just the coolest guys and also great Clash of Clans players. And they were actually the ones that went out with us to the bar the longest of all the players there. So I know they're good at spending a night with or an evening with, and also they're good at playing Clash of Clans. So I think they're a perfect fit for the Tribe Gaming Clash of Clans team.
Yeah, just a nice camaraderie there, like shared values, and it seems like a good connection from what we've seen so far. And we had them featured in that EWU match,
Yes.
the first matchup that they had with four of the five, but they're still trying to decide who that, like you said, the fifth will be. Which they happened to rotate Wassman in last minute.
Let's see. Who knows?
Yeah, he tripled, so you never know. So I'm very excited to see what happens with that. As far as it goes for you for Clash, do you think that there's an opportunity for you to come back once you're finished with your exams and put some focus on your personal life and work?
I actually really hope so. As of now, as you said, I have to study, and my retirement decision stands, and I'm like happy with it as far as reasonable goes. And yeah, it's actually pretty cool to have some more time on your hands, cleaning your apartment, reading a book, and all of that stuff you usually don't do when you have the possibility to play Clash or to hang out with your friends and boys. But if my life situation ever gives me the possibility to come back to the competitive scene, I'm 100% sure I will take it. And I would try my best to catch up again to all the guys that kept playing, like I did with my two friends with their beautiful pink walls.
Now, two-parter question. What do you miss most about playing Clash of Clans? And how difficult of a decision was it for you to retire and give it up completely?
Yeah, I actually miss hanging out with the guys at Discord most because there were always someone hanging around that you could just talk to about anything. So the social aspects of it, that's what I'm really noticing in my everyday life. And now that, but also now that the some leagues have started again with EWU and with the Town Hall 13 Cup coming up in a couple of weeks. Yeah, I'm actually also gonna be pretty sad that I can't like take part in this at all and not, do plans, not be excited and nervous about it and all of this. So it's a little fear of missing out that I have about this.
FOMO.
Um, but yeah, what's yeah, considering my everyday life, it's like I said, like I'm missing the guys a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like it was a tough decision, but obviously with what you have going on in life,
Yeah. So
it's kind of an easy one still at the same token.
yeah. It was tough. I mean, it was mostly tough, and I had known for a long time that it would be more reasonable, looking at what I had to do in my state exam or in my studies, to stop playing Clash or at least play less. But for me, it's not an option to play just like casually, because once you started playing competitively and in the with the best people in the world, you don't want to miss that. So I had to decide if I keep playing it like I did before, or if I stop playing it at all. And yeah, then when I really thought about my future, like not just the next year, but the next like 40 years of my of my life, then I just realized at some point that it's the only reasonable thing to stop it for now and focus on my real life, on my studies, and then maybe get back to it after that.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see what you have going on in the future. And maybe if you come back around to Clash. And speaking of, if you could do one thing different in your Clash career, what would it have been? If anything, would there be anything
Not
different that you would do in your Clash career?
not studying law because I didn't have enough time for Clash. No, no, I'm kidding. But on a more serious note, there's really nothing I regret about my Clash career, if you call it like that. I chose the right clans, chose the right people to play with, and made awesome memories and friends for life, and memories for life. I only hope that I will be able to come back at some point in my life.
That would be nice. I know I'd like that. I think a lot of people would like to see that as well. So, how did you deal? Because you've played quite a bit. How did you handle the pressure of playing live on stream in front of so many viewers? Like you said, for the World Championship, 1,000 viewers, like 1,000 people in the stadium. And that's not including the people that were watching live on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook, and that continue to watch afterwards on the replays. So how do you handle that kind of pressure? Did you find it intimidating, or you always seem calm, cool, and collected to me?
So I have the luck of not being too prone to the pressure. So I didn't worry too much about it. But of course, I also found myself being nervous and thinking about what people might think that are watching and all of that. But then I just try to be confident, try to focus on that you're good at what you're doing. Because like when I do an attack, it's most of the time it's something that I've done like 1,000 times before, you know, because everybody who's there on this big stage has played Clash for years in their life. And then there are always two things I tell myself whenever I get nervous. And the first thing is, what's the worst thing that can happen? Really the worst. And that is you mess up, get a 1 star, and you lose. But how bad is that? I mean, life goes on, and it also leads to the second one, and that is everything will be fine. And my personal experience shows me that this is right. Everything has always been fine. So yeah, that's like staying confident is very important. And advice for someone who tends to get nervous would be to not look at each person that is watching or sitting there in the audience individually, but trying to imagine the whole crowd as just one big thing that is watching you. And this way you will forget about what single people might think about you.
I think that's great advice. That's probably one of the biggest worries that a lot of people have is what people will think if they fail. That puts a lot of pressure on them. And just to think people collectively instead of those individuals. It's almost like that. Imagine them all naked. Puts them on the same same level.
Yeah.
Did you imagine people naked in the audience, Maxi?
Only my teammates.
I'm not going to touch that one. Did you have any awkward or embarrassing moments on stage or in front of camera? Anything that kind of made you feel like, oh, did that happen? Or
Yeah, well, I mean, fails in general, like not 3 starring base, always feel bad, but it's not really embarrassing. But what was pretty embarrassing was in the Town Hall 13 update stream when I wanted to use a Yeti smash and dropped all of my 8 earthquake spells on the same spot instead of just 2. And yeah, couldn't get through the base and really failed for my team, and we lost the whole war because of that stupid mistake. And I felt terrible when I realized I just had dropped 8 earthquake spells. But yeah, that's probably the most awkward one.
that happens. Fat finger deployments, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, as far as explaining to your friends and family, I'm sure they've known for quite some time now that you've been playing Clash. Was it weird for them to see you playing at this level and traveling the world, or how did they react to you playing this mobile game and having so many amazing opportunities with it and meeting so many different people?
Yeah, first thing, they were definitely surprised because what they knew was that I was just like playing around on my phone or tablet or whatever. So they thought it was just like a fun game like Candy Crush, and they couldn't really imagine that something bigger could get out of this. And when I told them about like the prize money, about the traveling I could do, about like how much organization is behind this world championship and all of that, they were definitely surprised, but also at the same time very proud that I was part of that, and I got support from all of them, and especially because the World Championship was in my hometown, Hamburg. I had a lot of my friends that are not Clash related come to the arena there and cheer for us at a live event. And that was really awesome support.
That's amazing. I think that's because how many people can say that they played in their hometown, a mobile game in their hometown for a championship and did have the full-on support of their friends and family. I think that's incredible. It's who's attacking right now, live. Tell me, do you think he's going to triple or no? Give me your predictions. 1-star, 2-star, triple?
Yeah. Yeah, if it's Itsu, I'm sure it's going to be a triple.
Okay.
I'm not worried. I've seen him attacking yesterday in the EWU stream, and no doubt about him tripling after that.
It's pretty smashed right now. He went in with the minor attack.
Oh yeah, that's great. I saw it yesterday that some people used it, and it was always Itsu's favorite. At the end of at Town Hall 12, it wasn't too strong anymore, or like bases were too good against it. Mm-hmm. And I'm happy for him to see that it's meta again, and that he can use his favorite strategy again.
Absolutely, and we're seeing a lot with the Siege Barracks now. So it's pretty. I
remember people making jokes about it when it came out. Like, how is this a siege machine? Who's gonna use this? Slammer is way too OP, so no one will use it. Rah rah rah. But I think like half of the people used it yesterday when in the attacks I saw.
Yeah, I was really surprised too. In my I knew that the majority of the community would use it. The majority of players would use it, but I was really not very certain that the war community, the competitive war community, would use it, because a lot of times we see them kind of stick their nose up to things too. Kind of like when siege machines first started and everybody said, no, we don't need this. It's too, Yeah, I don't know if you remember that, but I kind of expected the same from the Siege Barracks.
Yeah.
But people are loving it, and I'm happy to see that, and I'm sure the developers are too.
Yeah,
it's nice when they
I think so, and it's cool to see how the competitive players develop the using of the Siege Barracks, because I've seen like very delicate thinking behind it, like where to place it exactly so that the P.E.K.K.A. will walk a certain way. When to open it so the like whatever hawks or witches come out so that they clean a side of the base, or I even saw people that wait for the hawks to come out and have a heal spell for them.
Yep.
And use the royal champion. So there's a lot of strategies or different strategic ways to use it, and I really like that.
Yeah, it's a very nice new tool that we get to play with. So I've got one last question for you before we wrap up. Who would you say is the most, who would you say is one of the most influential players for you, or someone that you've kind of looked up to the most in Clash of Clans, all like throughout your experience?
It's really hard to say just one name for this, because there hasn't really been like a single mentor for me or something. But it's definitely all of the people in 11 Original and in Tribe Gaming that I had the pleasure to play with, and each of them has different abilities and different things that they are better at or the best at, and I just learned a lot from all of them together. Like everyone has their single, I don't know how to say it, like island of of knowledge. Yeah. And there are like people like Itsu, Bom, eVe, Vale, and Sir Iron, the ones I played with at the World Championship, but also Color, Vision, and all the guys at 11 Original. Like it's really hard to tell names, to say names, because everyone was part of my experience, and the experience is what gives you the routine and the quality in your attacks.
Yeah, I'd agree. It is tough to pick in general. It's the same like trying to pick who's the best player in the game. It's you can't just do one.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, you all the a very good thing before I was in competitive clans was to watch YouTube videos, because that's how you get to see the best players attack, and how you get the ideas that they have when they plan an attack. Like I used to watch Powerbang, and he featured WHF. So, for example, Lex. I saw Lex attacking at like Town Hall 10 3 years ago, and was impressed by that, and I took a little from that. And then I saw the TDH videos, as I said. Then I also saw videos of Mutke playing his Town Hall 10 Sui Lalo, and I took a little piece of that. And all of this together is a big puzzle, and yeah, makes what you are as a player.
And that's made for an amazing eVe Maxi.
Thank you. Yeah, eVe Maxi, my favorite name.
Well, I have to thank you so much for taking the time again to do this interview. YouTube is going to find out that we actually did this interview about 2 weeks ago, and I did not hit the record button. So Maxi very generously took some time to come back and redo the interview with me. So thank you so much, Maxi.
I wanted to thank you as well for having me and for doing the interview. And yeah, thanks for the community for supporting the competitive play throughout the whole year of 2019. And I'm just very grateful that I had the opportunity to meet so many great people, so many great clashers, and to make these great memories that I will keep for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Anything for new players that are coming through into the game?
Actually, Itsu attacking leads me directly to the first one, and that is max out everything you have in your base. And I know that Itsu tends to do it very quickly. So that is one thing. But the second thing is build bases, because it's a great asset to have as a player, and it gives you a better understanding of how the game works, how attacking works. And then the third thing is to master queen charges. For example, by using it in Legend League or in farming in general, because it's the strongest strategy, or part of the strongest strategy in the game. And then, yeah, I think the last and most important thing is be a human being. Don't be toxic to anybody. Don't be selfish. Be a team player and a nice person, because in the long run, you need to be a good player and a good person to be in the best teams and get the best results.
Yeah, I think that's great advice for anybody who is joining the war community, because competition can get really out of hand and it can get the better of you. And that's where you really see stress getting people, and people maybe not at their personal best. I think one of the amazing things is how the German community handles that. The German community is probably one of the least toxic communities that I've seen, or at very least the German clans that I've played with, and the players that I've known, in 11 Original and you guys in DL Tribe. It's a really nice thing to say. You're always very gracious and humble. Stay humble.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, that's right.
And I do have to say, Maxi, I think in general, you've had such a nice air of humility throughout. No matter where Clash has taken you. It's really nice to see that you're very grounded. I think you've stayed very.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm going to tell you too, Itsu, with this attack, because Maxi can't see it, is doing a Lalo. He's got 33 seconds left. He's got a bunch of loons left over, and the defenses are down. And it is looking like it's going to be the triple, because he's got plenty of minions spread around for the cleanup here. He just needs these loons to split, and I think he's got the triple. I hope you enjoyed the first of this series, Beyond the Town Hall. So for the next episode, we will have the one and only Marinol from INTZ. And if you did enjoy this video, please make sure that you click that thumbs up button. And if you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Those subs are very much appreciated in growing my channel. Links below to my social media, including Twitter and Twitch and Instagram. And if you don't know, I do live stream on Twitch 5 days a week, so you can also check out my schedule on the channel there. Until next time, this is Lady B. I'll catch you guys later.